Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Man, what's going on with Dana White? Dana White, him and his wife in a toxic relationship, aren't they? I think I'm going to have to turn my camera on for this one. You know, I'm out here chilling. But let me see if I can get my camera on because, man, I think we need to... Where am I at over here? Let me see. Let me bring this up above that. There we go. Let me expand this a little bit and put me right here. Move this right here, okay? Let's make a little adjustment. Now, listen. Hey, welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Now, we talk about Tank Davis. We talk about athletes. And we talk about domestic violence, right? And a lot of times, man, the guy, the male get eaten alive. And rightfully so in a lot of cases. But let me show y'all something. I'm going to put it to you like this, right? All the headlines are saying Dana White beats his wife, slaps his wife, punches his wife. Dana White, the domestic abuser. So you guys watch this if you haven't seen it and tell me what you think. Let me increase the volume for y'all, right? I don't want to make it too loud. Sorry about that. But watch now. Y'all catch that? She slapped the crap out of him. And then they're up there fighting now. Oh, they hit her back. So let me go ahead and reduce the volume on this and just let the video play while we talk because y'all can watch it, right? Man, what do you think about that? Okay? It's all wrong. The whole situation is wrong. But where are the people who are going to crucify him for slapping his wife? Right? Because those same people, they eat a lot of athletes alive. Now, the woman was wrong. But we're just coming off of a situation with Tank Davis. And people converged on him and had nothing good to say. Now, understandably so, if the man is putting his hands on a woman, is leaving bruising or something, there's always two sides to the argument. But in society, right, there's always going to be a double standard, okay? A woman can hit a man, but a man can't hit a woman, right? That's the double standard. Just like the double standard is, a man can sleep with 1,000 women. If a woman sleeps with 3-4 men, she's a hoe. She's considered loose, borderline harlot, right? But with this situation here, the two things, right? One, it's getting attention, but maybe because in the boxing circles, and that's kind of where I remain, there was so much talk about Tank, but there's not really much about this. So I had to bubble up, get involved in the MMA world, but they're not quite ripping Tank the way they're ripping Dana the way they rip Tank. And maybe that's because there's some video here that shows this maybe as a borderline self-defense situation. But for me, you know, man, it's a tough one for me. Because to me, he should have displayed more restraint, not because he doesn't have the right to defend himself, even though that's his wife. They've known each other since they've been 12, been married over 30 years, right? So as he said, we've been through some shit. Those are his words. But you can look and tell the way she hit him, that's not New Year's Eve alcohol. You could tell the way he came back, and he kind of caught it, and then he let go with that right hand. That catch and shoot, let me tell you, they've been fighting for a long time. Yeah, I mean, to be that comfortable in public, for her to be that comfortable to just hit him like that, and him just to, catch and shoot, that's been going on for a while. And I'll tell you this, right? What's in the dark always comes to light. And Dana White has always been so vocal on fighters and hitting their wives and doing drugs and all of these things. But if you know you have chaos in your relationship, if you know you're doing cocaine, you're smoking the weed as well, right? And something comes up with athletes or fighters or prominent figures, you should probably just remain quiet. Because this right here, it's out there in social media, in the cyber world. Like, he can't get this back. It's going to forever be out there. And oh boy, Jake Paul is going to have a field day with this. He just gave his worst enemy all the ammunition in the world. And in case you guys didn't know, Jake Paul is pushing to seriously increase the salaries of UFC fighters. And he's putting hella pressure on Dana Catch and Shoot White because Jake Paul doesn't like him. And Jake Paul's right with the initiatives he's pushing. But my thing is, with Tank Davis, man, damn, they're raking that boy across the coals. And we still don't know the whole story. You know what I mean? It's like I said, Tank and the child's mother need to stay off social media. We don't know what happened in that house. But you can look and see that obviously there was something physical that happened, but there's no footage. We just have some images from Tank and the girl's phone call, which isn't enough to convict anyone because it's just he say, she say. But obviously there was something that happened in that house with Tank. But this shit here, there's no footage of this taking place, at least that we've seen. Now, to me, if the cops get called on a situation like this, they come, she hit him, he hit her, his hand's heavier, she got a mark in her face, right? You think the cops are going to sit there and say it was self-defense and go after the woman? Even after they see this video, what do you think they do? So there's a couple things here. One, it's kind of foul that this isn't getting more attention because if a woman, I was in a relationship once, right? I'll tell you about this relationship. I don't mind. I don't share my personal stuff, but I'll share this one with you. There was a girl, man, we were dating. Nice little Puerto Rican chick. Parents grew up in St. Croix, but the grandparents were from Puerto Rico, so Puerto Rican culture and all that, but St. Croix, grew up in St. Croix, right? And we in the house, she was a little firecracker when she wanted to be. So I was washing clothes one day, right? Check this out. And it's going to tie into this crap here with guys being able to restrain themselves. So we in there, I'm washing clothes and she's out. So what I did, I separated the clothes. I was washing just mine because she didn't really have a lot. And I was like, let me wait till... I was being a little spiteful too, I ain't gonna lie, because she was arguing earlier and that ain't my style. So I was like, let me just wait till she gets some more stuff here. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? She want to be nasty. Just sit her stuff over there. I didn't want to wash it. But it was kind of a little bit of both. I didn't want to wash it, and two, she only had a couple things. So then she comes home and she sees that. And she gets upset. And she's like, you don't want to wash my effing clothes, right? And I'm just sitting there, cool as a fan, right? And I'm like, look, I told her, I said, part of me don't want to wash them, but then there's another part of me where it's not really a lot of clothes anyway. And she started raising hell, and I'm like, look, you can leave. You know what I'm saying? Go back to where you came from. And then I was taking my clothes out the dryer. And when I was walking off, she ran up on me. You know what I'm saying? And I started laughing because here I am, 6 feet tall. She was like 5'1". And I was like, what are you doing? And she slapped me. And I laughed, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, you just slapped me in my face. And I told her, I said, now, your dad he asked me never to put my hands on you. I told him that ain't my style. And her dad was like, if ever that happens, I'm gonna have to get involved. And I was like, I don't know what you mean by all this shit, but don't threaten me, But I understand. After some time with her, I understand that she had some bad experiences, but I'm not that kind of person. So anyway, she hits me, right? And you see how Dana White kind of catch and shoot? I caught it in my face, though. And because I didn't expect that. Then I just looked at her and laughed. Then she started trying to punch me in my chest and hit me in my chest. So what I did is, I was like, yo, stop. She wouldn't stop. So I grabbed her little wrist and I took my leg and put it behind her foot and just eased her down on the ground. And I held her there. I said, I'm going to let you up. Don't hit me. I said, if you hit me again, I'm going to call the cops. Then I'm going to call your dad. I said, you can tell your dad why your little ass going to jail. Because he asked me to never hit you. But here it is, you're hitting me. And I want to hear what he has to say, knowing that he's so worried about somebody doing something to his daughter. She's doing shit in the house. So she got up and, she got herself together. And I bounced. And I say that to say this, right? If someone hits you, it's going to piss you off. But it's not like that lady hit him with a bottle or some shit, right? His wife hit him with a bottle. You got to have restraint. And she's wrong, she's wrong. And that's not the only time I've had an issue. I had girls jump through the goddamn window, man, in my house, break the window and jump through because, I wasn't being loyal or whatever. But you can't come out there and want to hit women, man. That's just not okay. There may be some circumstances where it is okay, but when I look at this right here, this don't seem all right to me. But she's wrong like hell. But it's kind of one of them situations where it's like they had no video of Tank doing anything, and people just totally raked him. Now, obviously something happened between Tank and the girl, but people just murdered Tank on social media. But then you come out with this, and it's like, where's the attention, man? Where are people ready to boycott the UFC? That's not going on. That's not happening. And maybe it's because there's video here that shows her hitting him, but also shows him hitting her. So it's kind of a bittersweet kind of thing, where it's like, all right, self-defense, but at the same time, it's a man hitting a female. Also, it's Dana White, who has one of the biggest mouths as far as A-listers are concerned, and he deals in a sport that's all about combat, and he should know not to be hitting no damn woman. So, kind of crazy to me, man. But I am sure if there was video of Tank Davis, even if Tank Davis' girl hit Tank and he hit her back, because, Tank Davis left-handed. That's his power hand. If he gets hit, his natural reaction is to hit back. Let's say it's a female that hits him. He's not looking to throw no right hook. Because he's left-handed, that's the first one to go. And that heavy-ass hand that knocks people out, he can throw a half-hearted punch and knock you out. Imagine if Tank would have hit some female, even though she hit him first. Imagine the outpour of anger and people who want Tank stones. You know what I mean? It'll be a public lynching if there was a video of Tank, even if a female hit him hitting a female. So I just wanted to bring that to you because I'm this like blows my mind, man. Out there in the club acting like that, we know alcohol comes into play and everything else. It's crazy, but yo, man, you gotta have the strength to walk away from that. Man, they have like 3, 4 kids together and everything, man. Your kids in school and people know you're their parents, and now their kids going to school or college or wherever the hell they're at, and they got to deal with that now. Come on, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy. I'm telling you. But you got to find the strength to get the hell up out of that situation. And the thing with a guy like Dana White, he's married to that. Getting up and walking away, it can be done, but it's not easy. He got a bunch of kids. If he and that lady separate, half is hers. You know that Eddie Murphy, I want half. Remember that comedy special he did? Like that's the honest truth about it. A lot of guys stay in those relationships because they don't want to give up half. They don't want to deal with that bullshit. It's cheaper to keep them. Same thing can be said for women. It's cheaper to keep the man. But in Tank Davis' situation, he got the daughter, he paid the child support, but he don't have to sit there and deal with that crap, man. But these guys got to figure it out. So that being said, not a good look at all for Dana White. It's just unfortunate, man, that because if that was him who hit her first, and then she come back and slap the shit out of him, I mean, she shot him, right? They'd be championing her as to be brave and, someone who should be celebrated and stuff like that. But let the female do it to the guys, kind of one of those situations. But I understand. Hey, those double standards are there. I know it. He knows it. All these professional athletes know it. These actors, all these A-listers, all the way down to the Z-listers. We all know what we're facing with, what we're dealing with. Don't make no excuses. Find the strength to get out of that shit because it's not worth it. That being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.